Hello, my fellow gamesters. Today, we are diving into the pulse pounding world of first person shooters as we highlight the top 20 FPS games of the last 20 years. First up, we have Bioshock. Released in 2007, Bioshock offers a gripping blend of FPS mechanics and narrative driven storytelling. With its unique plasmid powers, you can unleash lightning, fire, and other deadly abilities on your enemies. The game's moral choices and philosophical undertones make it a thought-provoking masterpiece. Up next, we have Halo 3. Released in 2007, Halo 3 is a game that cemented the franchise's legendary status. Its campaign is a roller coaster of emotions, delivering heart-pounding combat and cinematic storytelling. Multiplayer was revolutionary with custom maps, forge mode, and endless competitive fun. Halo 3 is not just a game, it's a cultural phenomenon. Up next, we have Left 4 Dead 2. Released in 2009, Left 4 Dead 2 treated zombie apocalypse fans with a chaotic co-op masterpiece gameplay. With 4 survivors facing off against relentless hordes of infected zombies, every moment is a fight for survival. The game introduced more diverse environments, upgraded AI, and unforgettable special infected like the Spitter and Charger. Its dynamic gameplay ensured no two runs were ever the same. Up next, we have Black. Released in 2006, Black was a game ahead of its time. It emphasized intense gunplay with weapons that felt real and impactful. Every explosion and bullet fired was a visual and auditory spectacle. The gritty storyline added to its charm, making it a hidden gem of the FPS genre. Despite its age, Black remains a cult classic that's worth revisiting for its sheer adrenaline-pumping action. Up next, we have Resistance 2. Released in 2008, Resistance 2 is set in an alternate 1950s where humanity battles a monstrous alien race known as the Chimera. It pushed the boundaries of FPS storytelling. Its gripping campaign featured larger-than-life battles, while its 60-player online multiplayer was revolutionary. From its devastating weapons like the Augur to the towering Leviathan boss fight, Resistance 2 offered a thrilling mix of chaos and creativity. Up next, we have Resident Evil Village. Released in 2021, Resident Evil Village took players on a chilling journey through a mysterious European village. With its stunning visuals, terrifying enemies, and unforgettable characters like Lady Dimitrescu, the game delivers an immersive horror experience. Crafting, exploration, and intense gunfights keep you on edge from start to finish. Up next, we have Metroid Prime-Remastered. This remastered gem brings the timeless classic Metroid Prime back with breathtaking visuals and enhanced controls. You explore a stunning alien world filled with puzzles, secrets, and fierce enemies. The game's atmospheric design and immersive first-person exploration remain unparalleled. Up next, we have Dying Light. Released in 2015, Dying Light redefined the FPS survival genre. By day, you scavenge and fight off the undead, but by night, the real terror begins as more powerful zombies emerge. Its fluid movement system and brutal combat make every encounter thrilling. With a massive open world and co-op mode, Dying Light keeps players hooked with its endless possibilities. Up next, we have Far Cry 3. Released in 2012, Far Cry 3 was set up in the tropical nightmare of the Rook Islands. This game elevated the franchise to new heights with a gripping story centered on insanity led by the unforgettable villain Vaas. This FPS blends stealth, exploration, and explosive action. Its lush open-world environment is filled with wildfire, enemies, and countless opportunities for chaos. Far Cry 3 remains one of the most influential open-world shooters ever made. Up next, we have Borderlands 2. Released in 2012, Borderlands 2 brought a unique mix of RPG elements, co-op gameplay, and FPS action. Its cel-shaded art style, hilarious writing, and memorable characters like Handsome Jack set it apart. With billions of weapon combinations and addictive loot mechanics, every session feels fresh and exciting. Up next, we have Counter-Strike 2. Released in 2023, Counter-Strike 2 brings Valve's legendary tactical FPS into the modern era with cutting-edge visuals and refined gameplay. It offers updated maps, enhanced lighting, and responsive smoke grenades that dynamically react to bullets and explosions. Whether you're defusing bombs or rescuing hostages, Counter-Strike 2 feels like a celebration of FPS perfection. Up next, we have Portal 2. Released in 2011, Portal 2 deserves its place among the greatest FPS games for its innovative gameplay and sharp writing. Players once again wield the portal gun to solve mind-bending puzzles in Aperture Science's dilapidated testing facility. The addition of co-op mode and memorable characters like GLaDOS and Wheatley make the experience unforgettable. Up next, we have Battlefield 1. Battlefield 1 delivers large-scale warfare like never before. Its campaign highlights personal stories from the Great War, while its epic multiplayer battles features tanks, planes, and dynamic weather effects. The destructible environments make every match feel alive, with tactics constantly evolving. Battlefield stands out for its historical authenticity and heart-pounding action, offering an FPS experience that's both cinematic and immersive. Up next, we have Killzone 2. Released in 2009, Killzone 2, one of the PS3's finest exclusive. Set in a war-torn sci-fi world, players lead the charge against the Helghast forces on their home planet. The game's weighty gunplay, cinematic presentation, and intense multiplayer modes were ahead of their time. Killzone 2 showcased the power of the PS3, combining stunning graphics with an unforgettable FPS adventure. Up next, we have Call of Duty 2. Released in 2005, Call of Duty 2 brought World War II battles to life with unprecedented realism. Its intense campaign put players in the boots of soldiers across multiple fronts, from the deserts of North Africa to the snowy ruins in Stalingrad. The multiplayer set the stage for future FPS dominance. Call of Duty 2 remains a timeless classic for fans of war shooters. Up next, we have Wolfenstein 2: The New Colossus. Released in 2017, it is a standout FPS. Players continue the fight against the Nazi regime as BJ Blazkowicz, battling enemies with brutal weapons and strategies. The game's dark humor, rich characters, and surprising emotional depth make it more than just a shooter. Wolfenstein 2 proves that FPS games can deliver both heart-pounding action and a compelling narrative. Up next, we have Crysis. Released in 2007, Crysis is known for its groundbreaking visuals and demanding system requirements. Set on a lush tropical island, players don the nanosuit, granting superhuman abilities like cloaking, enhanced strength, and speed. The game's sandbox design allows for creative approaches to every encounter. Even years later, Crysis remains a benchmark for graphical fidelity and gameplay innovation. Up next, we have Metro Exodus. Released in 2019, Metro Exodus takes place on an atmospheric journey across post-apocalyptic Russia, blending survival horror with FPS mechanics. Its semi-open world design invites exploration, crafting, and dynamic weather changes. With a gripping story about survival and family, the game immerses players in its hauntingly beautiful yet dangerous landscapes. Up next, we have Titanfall 2. Released in 2016, Titanfall 2 brought innovation and heart to the FPS genre with its brilliant campaign and refined multiplayer. Players experience the bond between a pilot and their Titan BT-7274 in a story packed with action and clever platforming mechanics. Its multiplayer mode offers fast-paced gameplay, combining wall running, grappling hooks, and devastating Titan battles. Titanfall 2 is a masterpiece that excels in both single-player and competitive modes. And finally, we have Doom Eternal. Released in 2020, Doom Eternal is an adrenaline-fueled FPS that takes combat to the next level. With its brutal arsenal, fluid movement system, and intense battles, every encounter feels like a symphony of destruction. The game's stunning visuals and pulse-pounding soundtrack create an unforgettable experience. Doom Eternal redefines fast-paced FPS gameplay, making it a must-play for action fans. If you liked this video, dive into this video next.